Now that I have set up most of the pages and filled them with dummy content, I can continue building the website features. I'll start by showing you how I improved the layout since the last video. I added some components, some pages, made everything a bit more responsive and better in general. Then I'll quickly show you how to replace jQuery since it's no longer included in the .NET 7 Blazor templates. After that, I can plan the next website features. But first, a special thanks to the channel's first Patreon member. Thank you so much. This means the channel is headed in a good direction, which makes me and my family proud. Also, does this motivate me even more to keep building and publishing well-crafted projects. So let's take a look at the brand website. I made everything just a little bit nicer. The alignments and some colors, some extra menu items, some more placeholders. I made everything more responsive using the Bootstrap classes. I added some pages like the courses, the products with some dummy content. I added those same numbers from the index page to the sponsorship page. And then I found this nice pricing component with some cards and a table, also fully responsive. Responsive means it's mobile friendly. The layout adapts to the screen width. And I found this pricing table in the Bootstrap examples. So Bootstrap has some nice examples you can get inspiration from, and even has some very well crafted paid themes you can always get inspiration from, or just buy the whole theme. I of course adapted this example to my own setup. And then on some of the detail pages I repeated a few components, and then there's detail pages for the products. As for the courses, then you just see the cards and the reviews. So products is similar. And then I improved the behavior of this component a bit more. I still want to add some kind of CAPTCHA, I am human toggle to then enable the button, but that's for later. I will be publishing a new version of the project, the improved version, to my Patreon. So let's then talk about jQuery. So scaffolding a .NET 7 Blazor template, whether it's Blazor Server or Blazor WebAssembly, doesn't matter. No longer includes the jQuery that is needed for some of the Bootstrap components, like the carousel, the accordion, and so on. I don't think you need jQuery when you're using Blazor, but it can make your life easier. So if you still want it for example, for a carousel component, which is harder to replace with Blazor, then you can just go to the Bootstrap getting started and download that bootstrap.min.js and add that to your host.cshtml, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then at the bottom you include the script. Of course, you then need to have that bootstrap.min.js stashed in your www root folder. So let's start with this navigation menu dropdown. This is the navbar layout component. And there I added a simple toggle menu on click event, which actually means that we can delete most of these Bootstrap attributes, and then the actual drop-down menu will have a class show which says display visible when that specific menu is open. So I have a set, so the menu items stay unique. And on toggle menu, I just pass the index of the menu, which is 0 for the first one and 1 for the second one. And if this open menu already contains the index, it will remove it. So then the drop-down menu loses its visibility class. And if it's not yet added, I want to show it, so I add the index to the open menus, which then this function then checks, is that index in there, then add the show class, make it visible. So that is menu open, just does a contains on the index. Easy peasy. This is the entire navigation bar. And then one below the nav item. This one was the products menu item with 2 sub items, courses and products. So pretty easy to do. There is of course another approach as well, and that is to wrap the entire thing in an add if statement, which then checks is menu open with the index of 1, like that, instead of the show class. But this makes that the component doesn't exist until you clicked that navigation item. So if we inspect the page source on page load, then this menu item wouldn't exist if you wrap it in an if statement, which is fine for a menu, I think. But it's not great if you want to, if these links are important for the SEO, the search engine optimization. And it's also not a great approach if you want to add animations, since you can't really animate a component into existence. You can animate the visibility. With animate, I mean like have a nice transition, a nice animation when I click this and this becomes visible. So I just wanted to give that extra info. Sometimes it will make sense to wrap the entire component into in an if statement, and sometimes you rather go for the inline add a CSS class approach for SEO reasons and animation reasons. And for the FAQs, we'll probably go with a similar strategy. Yeah, but that's for later. Okay, now that most of the components are visualized, I can continue building the actual brand website features. I think it's a good idea to make everything functional first, because then I'll know what I'm missing, and we might know what the courses and the products, which other fields are needed, and then we can adapt the layouts as we go. But this is definitely not the final styling. At the end of the video series, I might restyle all of these components to my own brand style, and then you'll have the choice to either follow my brand styling or start from these basic components and style those to your own brand styling. But for now, we have done enough work on this one. Of course, the list will likely need some pagination, and the create newsletter subscription form might need this CAPTCHA, but that's for later. What would be the next module you want to see? Let me know in the comments. Thinking about the FAQ or the testimonials. I could do the contact and the CAPTCHA. Let me know. The blog might need some more planning, and the products as well. But once the blog is there and the products pages are there, we can start doing SEO metrics and probably pagination. So let's take a look at the website and just do the first thing I come across. So this is done for now. These are just going to be filled up in the HTML. This as well. So then the first thing would be the testimonials. So let's start building that module. That will likely just have some seed data to start with, and then get that from the database and display it here and move these components over to its module. So I gave this the yellow color, and we can continue building that. But I will leave that for the next video. I will publish this improved version to my Patreon, and I'll leave a link down below, so make sure to check that out. See you in the next video.